Well, sometimes things happen, and some things are better late than never. So this trailer was brought back here a long time ago. To have a semi-trailer, like if you're in the city, you might need a special use permit. If you're a contractor, you're going to need a way to get it to where it needs to go. He was able to have this parked at a commercial building. Therefore, we were not required any special use permits. They had semis and trailers, everything coming and going. I had him move it here when he started working on the driveway months ago for the kids to start unloading. Mr. Motivations, they just don't have it. Unfortunately, my children have nothing against watching their mom work or seeing me come in, finding that the house is a mess and that they've been sitting there eating all the food while I've been outside working. So for 2 days, this has been their project. Let me show you what happened yesterday. Yup. 0 days without an accident. My feet. Oh my gosh. So I've been wearing these lightweight tennis shoes around the farm. In December, I broke my pinky toe. This was the only pair of shoes I could wear. Well, I've been back to wearing my regular shoes. My pinky toe has badly healed. On a hard day, I can still feel it. But we started tearing the wood shelving out of this. This was a construction company's tool shed. And it was real handy because they could take it where they needed to. It has a garage overhead door, built-on staircases that just fold up and chain out of the way, and it can be hauled to whatever job site it needs. So Trey and I were ripping out a cabinet shelving unit here that was made for shovels. He wasn't hanging on, and it fell right dead on the top of my foot. Right on the one toenail. And wouldn't you believe it? I did not curse at all. So I yelled, I hobbled around. It actually hurt worse than when I broke my pinky toe. So I sat there for a minute. I knew it was worse than what I wanted. I went inside and I checked it out. So I had to actually drill holes into my nail to get the blood out because the pressure was building up so badly. And it worked like a charm. It's much better today, and I could actually put a shoe on, and the swelling's going down. Now if I can just get it to stop bleeding. All right, so there's these weird little cabinets here. I don't know why they had cabinet doors in here with the shelving, or if it was just a matter of not letting things fall off the shelf when it was in transport. So there's some good usable doors, there's some good usable plywood, and a lot of 2x6s. So we can use these 2x6s in shimming up the barn. And I've even taken some plywood out of here and used it for beekeeping. If anybody needs an auto car fuel tank, we have this auto car fuel tank, and it was just something that he came across and said, well, hey, you know, you can't scrap that. And it's really cool. It's got that, I don't know what you call that, but anyways, the non-skid coating on it, because truckers, you know, they have a built-in step for getting up into the cab. So it's got the step and the fuel tank. I don't know how many gallons it is, but you could use it as a standalone fuel tank. We've got an old stove from our old house and an old vanity that has water damage, and all this stuff was in this trailer. Now the kids have been taking some things to the pole barn for me to get stored. I've been listing things for sale on Facebook because this is a lot of stuff like the vanity top, light fixtures, some kitchen things that somebody left behind. There was unused rolls of padding, and the raccoons got in there and tore it all up. So the boys bagged it up for us, and they hauled it out of there. And I cannot believe some of the things that he's just had sitting here in the wide open. I took a handful of copper to the scrapyard one day, and they gave me $30. This is probably $100 worth of copper. Some of it I can actually use because rental house time, I've been over there working, and the gas company turned off my electricity for a little while in the winter time. So my furnace didn't go and my pipes froze. So I got to get over there and start working on that before I can start working on the rest of the house. But I was there the other day doing some mowing and landscape grooming. Lately, if there's nothing to do here, I can go over there and go do a little bit of work. I was hoping to have those houses gone before winter and not have that responsibility on my shoulders anymore. But as things happen, just like with the trailer sale, sometimes sales or plans fall through. So we're getting this wrapped up. I said there's no reason why this should have got carried into today, except for that I got hurt and had to abandon the job. So sometimes a little bit of self-care has to happen, and sometimes it's emergency care. And I tell you what, that finished me off for the rest of the day.
Well, underneath they'll probably be holding this stuff shot.
Well, we're doing some roofing, some patch repair on our hay storage trailer. And we have another storage trailer that somebody put in plexiglass ceiling panels for daylight. And the plexiglass has cracked, and the screws that they used probably are leaking also. So it's been causing some floor damage to that trailer, and we use these for hay storage. So in the meantime, I happened to be out at Tractor Supply, and they had a 5-gallon bucket of this latex roofing patch compound. And so he says we have not used the latex type. We've used oil-based. And for $5, it was clearanced out. I called him up and I said, hey, this trailer's leaking here and there. There are some spots. Somebody previous to us owning it damaged that corner. And when we raised our driveway up, we actually hit the tree and opened it back up. So we are starting to put second cutting hay in here. So this is our second cutting hay field. And this is where we had the live stream. The kids and I were underneath that walnut tree last week. That was Sunday or Monday. So we're getting near the end of the week now, and it's supposed to rain tonight. And all of that hay over there is right underneath me. So we want to keep it dry. This is a start. So the happy cows have been eating some of the broken bales. Look at how nice and green this is. It's beautiful. And this is a bale that is half and half because it came out of the baler from the last time we cut hay. About a month, right? So we cover it, but still, I threw them in. I took care of the garbage. So super green.
This used to be just like that.
Yep. So it is important to keep your hay dry, and it is important to keep it out of the sun. So like my hay that's up in the loft right there, it gets bleached out and turns brown, but we just go ahead and let those be sacrificial bales right there at the edge until that can get all patched up. This was super leafy, and we only let it sit there for about 24 hours. He raked it and did not ted it, and we were having a leaf shatter. It was just falling off. We've got 130 bales here and probably about a bale's worth on the ground from it falling all off. About another bale coating him when he was done. And the nice thing about these trailers, well, nice and not so nice, they have overhead doors, and I have trouble getting them open and closed, the old rail systems, and real teeny tiny rollers. Our red trailer that we had that is out and back, we haven't started using that. That's just got the 2 wide open doors. But this is real nice for just loading them up, open it up, close it, keep the sun off of those bales, and don't lose any color. You lose color, you lose money. So after 2 weeks of letting my foot heal, I'm back out here cleaning the lumber out of this storage trailer. I couldn't get the job finished because my toe hurt so bad. So my husband came in here with a sledgehammer and a crowbar, and he took out whole sections. There were the 2 closets in the very front part of the trailer. He took them out as whole wall units. So I have to try to muscle them out of here and pull them out. So today I'm throwing everything out, putting it in the manure spreader so it can be taken someplace else for storage. We've got a lot of big things going on the farm, and this week is hay, oat hay, and straw. We can put all of our year's straw storage in this trailer, sweep it out, fill it up, patch up the roof where the sunroofs were, and we are golden. today is the day after I showed you the cutting in the oat field. So the oats have all laid down. He started raking this morning and he's at the tail end of this section of the oat field. So if you can tell from the rows, it's a little bit thin, and he's combining, I think, 4 rows into one to get these windrows to pick up with the baler. It's kind of deceiving when you look down a row here how green it is, because this is what it looks like when you're actually standing above it. So we've got little bits of ragweed in here, but we've got grasses growing, the alfalfa and the clover are coming up. Like in this patch here, I can show you. Here's clover, clover, clover. This was a ragweed. Quite a bit. It's still very thin. The nurse crop with the oats really did help it. Yeah. Hi, George. Come on. So this is my project for the evening. We've also been working on baling the wheat straw. So while I was out working on other projects yesterday at the workhouse, he was here working on his wheat. So the wheat has been combined. He was over working on raking and baling the wheat straw. Of course, the equipment always breaks down at 5:30 right after the dealer closes. So he did some welding on the baler and he got back in business so that he can work on baling hay for today, because today is Friday. We're supposed to get rain on Sunday. And because rain is coming on Sunday, this storage trailer project has got to get finished. So I worked on this all morning and all afternoon, and I just about got it done. I left a couple of sheets of plywood in here because where the skylights leak, the floor is soft. So we're just gonna go ahead and lay the plywood down on top of it and not do a big renovation, because it is tongue and groove boards and it's hardwood. Trying to cut that out and repair it where it is buckled is just an absolute nightmare. I filled the entire manure spreader nice and neat with nice straight stacks of wood. I sorted it and separated it from plywood, 2x6s, 1x4s, 1x6, and 1x12.
Yeah.
There's even 2x12s and 2x6s in there. But I went through, I did a good sweep out. There's a couple things left in here. We've got to make a run to the scrapyard to get rid of the old stove. I may or may not take some parts off of it. This stove has been in storage for probably 14 years, but that darn control board, I had just put that control board in there and it started doing the same thing. And we spent $240 on that stupid control board. Maybe I can take it out and resell it on eBay and get some of that cost back. And that's the only reason it has been in storage all these years. I've got an old bathroom vanity here that I'm going to use in the laundry room at the workhouse with a new countertop. And he's got an old fuel tank from an auto car in here that I could not budge on my own. And I will tell you, that was up in the corner standing up on its end. That's the only spot that I haven't swept. But look at all this space we have in here now. Let me show you a screenshot of what it looked like this morning. So now there's just this little bit of plywood in here, and we can back the manure spreader into the barn to keep it out of the rain. This is a Pinterest Makers Project Dream Collection. It's got a little bit of everything. But you can see I've got a little bit of work ahead of me still. This is all garbage that's got to go to the dumpster. I've got some storm doors that I can use on the rental houses. And I've got a pile of good 2x4s that I thought, ooh, kind of think about putting in a basement wall if I could get a little help getting the bottom board anchored into the concrete floor and divide up some of that storage space from the laundry room would be really nice. I think it would make the house a little bit quieter not having an open furnace room and have that utility room separate. You'll have to hit that little notification bell down in the corner so you can find out what's going on at the workhouse and not miss that project if it happens. So just as soon as he's done raking that hay, he can come over here and move the manure spreader for me, unload the stack wagon, and I can start hauling it in there. I made a couple of batches of homemade cookies today to sweeten them up because being on a tractor all day long is hard work. And I picked up a couple of nice new cookie jars at the thrift store yesterday. Oh, I gotta tell you, if you ever want to torture yourself, bale yourself some oat hay. It is miserable. I don't know what farmer ever thought to do this, but it doesn't bale up like straw. It doesn't bale up like hay. The tension has been adjusted repeatedly, trying to get it just right. And you know what? It's full of ragweed, so I'm coughing. I had to dismiss Murdoch because his allergies just couldn't take it. It's too dusty. We're baling up some thistle seed. I always wear gloves when we do this anyway, but that thistle seed hurts. So I had him leave a stack here, and I had to leave him a stack here. Those are all the broken ones. There's a few left to whole. I'm at the tail end. I sent Jack back to eat lunch. It's after 2 o'clock. He was just exhausted. Bowl of cereal only gets you so far. So those loose bales are in there first, and this trailer only does 5 in a row instead of 6 in a row. So we are only getting 25 per row instead of 30. There's roughly, I don't know, about 110 right now. So since I'm working on my own, I built a staircase here with some bales, and they're real soft. They're not great to stand on, but it helps. You can run them back through the baler when we're done. I get 3 or 4 bales up here on the side. This stack, he adjusted his tension a little tighter, and these bales baled really good, but they're extra heavy because of it. But you can see all that color variation in there, all that darkness is the weeds drying out. That is ragweed. So I don't know how much the cows are gonna like it. The girl cows didn't go after it much, and the boy cows are eating it right up. So I think it'll be good winter feed and bedding, but see that? I really wanted, I hate oat straw, we did it one other time. If you look back in our video playlist of me cleaning up the barn one year, I had an entire stack next to the barn that the tarp blew off, the tarp had holes, and guess who got to clean it up? Well, all that was very early on in the farming, and I basically helped put hay away at that point. I wasn't terribly involved. I wasn't doing a lot of videos on the farming. It was a lot of more DIY and repair videos. The channel just kind of evolved into some farming videos to share the repairs and different things that we had going on the farm. And when I first started making them, I thought, no one's going to watch these videos. And I'll tell you, it's still true to this day. The farm videos, it's amazing. 100 views, 300 views. Very low counts on the farming videos. My DIY and appliance videos are huge. And that's what made me start creating playlists so that I can still create them and show you kind of what's going on without having a separate channel. Maybe one day I'll separate the farming, I don't know. So it's Saturday afternoon. We got all in a huff because we were supposed to have rain tomorrow on Sunday, and we knew that we had a good window for doing all this. I think 4 days from the time we started. Usually it would take us 3 days, but he wanted to make sure to allow enough dry time with the weeds and the oats so that any of the immature oats could finish. He's out there collecting his 3rd load. We put away a load of straw last night and a load of grass hay from the waterway this morning. So for today, I'm already at 250 bales, and I've been working on my own now for probably a half an hour, but I actually figured out I am working more efficient alone than with the kids' help. It's helping to build their bodies, but oh, I'm standing around so much, overheating, waiting for them to get a bale to me. I tried giving them bales, but because they were loose, they couldn't get them stacked either. He's out there with the baler right now, running more. I told him just go ahead and get it finished because the chance of rain for today has been slowly tapering off. We're right on the edge of a storm. So while I've been working, I felt a few sprinkles. I've been checking the radar and I've been checking the hourly, and we went from like 4 p.m. at a 60% chance to now 9 p.m. for a 60% chance of rain. So we're only at 20% chance right now, and it's not enough sprinkles to even say so. Like if you were driving in a car, you would not even turn on your wipers. So I think we figured out that these trailers will hold about 550 to 650 bales depending on how much. This one's a little bit smaller, so it doesn't hold quite as much, but we've always filled this one up. This works really great for winter storage because this can sit up here out of the way. He can pull it up in the late fall, December, and get it positioned where we need to for winter feed. All those white gray fuzzballs. This'll seeds for next year. Holy cow. You wouldn't believe how many times we came out here and we cut back the thistles so that the tops wouldn't mature and that they couldn't go to seed. I do the same thing with my rhubarb, and then I get a full season of picking rhubarb. So he's over there picking up what'll be the last load of the oat hay for this section of the field. We haven't done over there on the other side. That'll be probably another week to 2 weeks. We're looking at a possible 3 to 4 day rain. All these baby hay plants, the clover, the alfalfa, and the grass, they'll do well. The showers just keep moving off. All this cloudiness, it's all been moving to the south, just on the very edge of us. So that's going to be it for this. This oat hay has been misery for him. They're light, they're not baling quite right. He'll lose one like he did just now. It's been the hardest work trying to manage the bales even just to get them stacked. So this is where we ended up with the straw storage trailer. Really good. We're probably about a third of the way filled up. We took sections of plywood that we found and we just patched them over. All the floor holes, non-existent. So now, after putting away about 600 bales today, I'm whipped at 300. I'm taking a break for an hour. He's got to go back out later and go do some more straw baling. That might just have to get put off till after the rain. We'll see. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.